What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So let's talk a little football this morning, right? So yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles, they extend their winning streak to 4 games. They are now 4-0 on the season. What a great way to start for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the fans are extremely excited, right? But there's one person on the Philadelphia Eagles roster who is not excited about how things are going so far, despite the team being 4-0. That individual is star wide receiver A.J. Brown, right? And the reason why I know A.J. Brown is not excited about how certain things are going is because he took to Twitter, or X, and he posted this tweet here. The tweet read, it was a quote, basically, put a picture up of a quote. It said, "If you're not welcome, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way." Right? Now, this is a very cryptic tweet. And they got people puzzled, got people scratching their heads, so on and so forth. And they're like, yo, is he not happy here in Philly? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on is the fact that A.J. Brown is not being included in the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? He's not a key contributor for this team offensively. And for him, that is frustrating, right? Now, I know what a lot of fans are going to say, man, you winning. Who cares about stats? Who cares about stats, etc.? You have to understand, man, a lot of top tier players, top tier talent, they want to contribute to winning. They want to be included in the offense. They want to be able to, they're competitive, right? So they want to be a part of the offense just as much as everybody else is. But here's the key thing I want people to remember, because people always say stats don't matter. Stats don't matter. Yes, they do, right? Sports is a business. They may not matter on the high school level or the college level, and still they matter then, because that leads, stats in high school leads to you getting scholarship offers to colleges. Stats in colleges, and stats in college lead to you getting scouted by the NFL, right? So stats do matter. We like to just put this blanket statement out there. Stats don't matter. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. In the NFL, if you want to get paid top dollar, if you want to get a big time contract and get paid like a top 5 receiver, you got to be putting up top 5 receiver numbers. Seriously, the NFL is a league where they try to figure out a way not to pay you. For real. I watched the NFL run a running back into the ground and say, "We're not finna pay you because, hey, you got all these carries." Well, goddammit, you ran him into the ground. You made him get all them carries. You used them up and got all that you could up out of him in order to say, "Hey, man, we can't pay you big time in the second contract because look how many carries you got now. You didn't cross that 300 carry threshold." Well, damn, you did that to him. And now you're using it as a reason not to pay him money. We can't pay you that much. Look how many carries you got, man. You done for. Like that, the NFL does that to players, right? So if A.J. Brown knows he's in a league where teams are looking not to pay players, and I'm not a part of the offense, I'm not contributing, it's gonna be frustrating. A.J. Brown had 2 receptions for 7 receiving yards and 9 targets. He had more targets than receiving yards yesterday. The man got 14 catches on the season. Puka Nacua had 13 catches yesterday, and got about 42 catches on the season, right? So for A.J. Brown, that's frustrating. Yes, I'm sure he loves winning. I'm sure he's happy that the team is off to a great start. But also, it's like, man, in a league where players have a small window to maximize off their skill set, to maximize off of their talent, their athletic prowess, got a small window. Listen, while I'm really great, when I'm still a great player, I want to be able to put up big time numbers so I'm able to secure another contract. Getting to a 3rd contract in the NFL outside of the quarterback position is hard to do. Getting to a 3rd big time contract, it's extremely hard to do for a player outside of the quarterback position, right? Now, some would say, well, receivers can do it or whatever, but it's hard, man. You got to stay healthy. You got to hope injuries don't occur. You got to hope your athleticism doesn't wane. You got to hope that you're still able to have the speed to get separation from defensive backs, all of that, right? So it's like, yo, he is a top 5 talent, 100%. But his stats, if you look at his stats, you would not be able to tell that. You would not. He got 14 receptions, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown on the season. If you didn't know who A.J. Brown was, you would say, "Oh man, this is a mid-tier receiver right here." Looking at them numbers and looking at numbers he putting up, like, yo, you would think he's a mid-tier receiver. He's no such thing. He's no such thing as that. He is a top-tier elite receiver, and he not getting the ball. Now, I'm not putting this on Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts, he didn't put up big-time numbers with Jalen Hurts before, right? But Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator, they got a scheme to get him the ball, man. Like, they got a play call to get him the football, you know? Because, I'm sorry, like, yes, you can do both things. You can win football games, and you can also get your star receiver the football. You can do both, right? I don't think it has to be one or the other. You want to win or you want stats. You can do both, right? I'm not saying every game he got to have 100 receiving yards. I'm not saying he might have some games where he got 50 receiving yards. But, yo, like through 4 games, he got 14 catches. 14 catches. A.J. Brown does. I can get why it can be frustrating because he's looking at the trend of how things are going. On this season, man, I might finish the season with about 700 receiving yards. You know, if I'm lucky. You know, and that is not indicative of the player that he is. And like I promise you, when it comes time for a new contract and the negotiations start, you don't think these teams are going to use that against him? They're not going to say, AJ, we know who you are. We want to pay you top dollar still. We want to give you all the money because we know your talent. We know the talent that you are. We know who you are as a football player. No, they're going to use these stats against him. Hey, man, we can't pay you top 5 receiver money. Look at them stats, man. It's like, yo, but you know, like my talent, they weren't play calling to get me the ball. They weren't scheming to get me the ball. Like, you know my talent. They're going to say, well, AJ, I hear you about your talent, but how do we know you're still that guy when you don't have the numbers that you used to put up? We can't give you this mega money. We can't give you this Justin Jefferson money. We can't give you that. They're like, yo, And that can be frustrating. That can be frustrating as a player. Well, you know the owners and general managers, they be looking for a way not to pay players. So for him, it's like, yeah, I'm sure he's happy he's winning, but going forth, you know, he got to get more involved in the offense. Now, should he have handled it differently? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think he should have been on Twitter posting cryptic messages and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think he should have went about it a different way, 100%. But I get his frustration because the NFL is a business. It's easy for everybody to say, stats don't matter. Who cares about stats? Yeah. You don't care because your team is winning and your bottom line is not being affected. This is not your finances that's up for debate. Oh, not for debate, but that's in limbo. Some of y'all, and I know some people gonna say, man, who cares? Who cares if you get 20 million or 70 million? It's still millions. Man, listen. When you realize, again, these players, they're not gonna play for a very, 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 very long time. Right? Who knows what, and hopefully they manage their money well. But this is not the NBA where you got guys that can play for 20 years like that. I mean, you got quarterbacks that can do that. But receivers ain't playing for 20 years like LeBron James and stuff. And Vince Carter and them. They're not doing that, man. So they want to be able to maximize off their talent. They want to be able to get everything. They want to squeeze everything out of the orange that they can. And while I'm still a top-tier talent, I hope that I can be involved in the offense so I can still get future paydays. And I know it sounds selfish, but that's real, man. It's real. And I think people just like to say, who cares? Because your money is not being affected. You know? And a receiver, and people say it's selfish, it can affect morale when they just not getting the football consistently. right? And long term, especially when a player is a viable, like they're a valuable weapon on the team. And like, yo, I don't know if this is the place for me to be because I can't continue to be putting up pedestrian numbers and hope to get a big contract. Same thing like, okay, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, right? DJ Moore is our star receiver. DJ Moore, like DJ got like 170 yards with like 16 receptions through 4 games, right? And I'm looking like I'm glad we got the win yesterday. I'm super glad because yesterday we won a game that we normally would lose as the Chicago Bears. Real talk, right? And I'm happy that after the game, even though DJ wasn't really involved, he still went up to Caleb Williams and hugged him after they got the victory. Went up straight up to the first person to hug Caleb when they hugged. And I was glad to see that sight because there's been a lot of speculation that DJ doesn't like playing with Caleb. He's frustrated with how, he's not getting certain targets or whatever. There's been rumors. So I'm glad to see him hug Caleb and everything is all good. But I said to myself while watching the Chicago Bears, hey, we got to figure out a way to get DJ the ball. He is a certified weapon. It's not just getting him the ball so he can just shut up. So I can see if he wasn't good and he just wants the football and he's just complaining and no. He is really a great player. DJ Moore is. And we gotta figure out a way to get DJ Moore the football. We really do. We can't be having him just going through weeks and weeks and weeks with pedestrian type numbers. We got to figure out a way to get him involved. And I was saying that as a Bears fan. So I can see why AJ would feel the same way. Like I would, there's some Eagle fans that probably don't care. They say, hey, we winning. Who cares? But ultimately, got to get your guy. He's wide receiver number 1, and he looking like wide receiver number 3 on the team, man. He looking like wide receiver number 3. So he got to get the football. And they got to figure that out. Kevin Patullo, got to figure it out, brother. Got to get him going, man. Because his stats don't indicate that he's a top 5 talent at all. Play call to get AJ some targets. For real. He just get little hitches and glance routes and all that. Hey, get him the ball so that and I think the offense would it would benefit the offense to get him the ball. It really would. And not just to get him happy. It would benefit the offense. Same way it would benefit the offense, the Chicago Bears offense, to get DJ Moore involved as well. And I'm sure Ben Johnson is going to do that with the Chicago Bears. He's going to make that an emphasis going forth. Caleb Williams is finding his footing, etc. But with Jalen Hurts, he's been in the league for a while. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's put up big numbers with AJ has put up big numbers with Jalen Hurts before. So they got to figure that out, man. And that's just my thoughts on it. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out, y'all. Peace. I don't think AJ Brown is being selfish. I do think he's thinking about the business of the NFL long term and the longevity of his career and so on and so forth. I'm out, y'all. Peace.